Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and this is Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. Karen and Lawrence, welcome back here on the show last time. We gave everyone 2 chances to reach the final, and today is your last chance. Remind us how you 2 know each other?
We've been married now for 7 years.
How did you do last time?
Not so good. I did a gamble and it didn't pay off.
You went out in round 2, didn't you?
Yes, right.
Well, let's hope you go all the way this afternoon. Best of luck to you. Welcome to Kate and Kelly. And how do you 2 know each other?
We've been best friends for 26 years.
26 years?
Yeah, we met when Kelly moved into our street when I was just 2 years old, so we've been friends ever since.
Oh, fantastic. Well, best of luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome to Saturn Fortuna. How do you 2 know each other?
We met at university
How long ago was that?
about 5 years ago.
Very good indeed. Well, best of luck this afternoon. And finally, we've got Malcolm R and Malcolm S. How do you 2 know each other?
Hi, we met some years ago. I was actually appointed his probation officer. He got 2 ASBOs for streaking down the main street of Radlett, and the old ladies got terribly frightened, so we've been friends ever since.
Has he mended his ways?
Yes, we both walk our dogs very nicely together now.
Very good. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show, but there's one more person I have to introduce you to before we go any further, and that, of course, is the man with all the facts and figures, Richard. How are you?
We've got a good show today. I think the first question might trip a few people up today. We've got one returning pair, that's Karen and Lawrence. They got tripped up on rivers, but I think they'll do well. My eye, though, for many reasons, is on Malcolm and Malcolm, who I think are either going to be trouble or are going to be extremely successful. They're my tip for today.
I think R and S have got trouble written all over them. Best of luck with that, Malcolms. Very good. Thanks, Richard. We've asked all our questions on Pointless to 100 people before the show. To stay in the game, all our players have to do is score as few points as they can, and they do that by coming up with those answers that as few of those 100 people gave as possible. The thing everyone's looking out for is a pointless answer. That means none of our 100 people gave that answer, and each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to today's jackpot, so it starts off at a princely sum of £2,000. Let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, and you have to be careful, because if anyone gives me an incorrect answer, then this will happen. Exactly. Ooh, and we don't want that to happen. And you will score the maximum of 100 points, should that happen. OK, guys, your first category this afternoon is football. Well, there's a groan going up from Kate and Kelly there. Karen not looking too happy with that. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first and who's going to go second? And having decided, can the first player please step up to the podium? OK, let's find out what our first question is going to be. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many winners of more than one FA Cup as they could. Richard, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I did warn you. We're looking for teams who've won the FA Cup twice or more since the first ever FA Cup in 1872. There are 23 teams who've won the FA Cup more than once. Very best of luck.
Very best of luck. OK, Karen and Lawrence, you all drew lots before the show, and today you get to go first. Oh, Karen, not looking at all happy with that.
No, football is not my forte. It's what he watches and I go out the room and tidy up
To
usually.
avoid.
Yeah, afraid so.
Oh, dear.
I think I'm going to go for Chelsea.
You're going to go for Chelsea. Play it safe.
Yes, very much so.
You're going to risk a high score, but better a high score
Than 100.
Than 100. OK. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Chelsea. Well, it's correct.
Phew.
Down it goes, 68. That's... Richard, Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea have won it 5 times, all since 1970. The most recent, of course, been in 2009. I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan, are you? That hurts you to say something.
A little bit.
Little bit?
Yeah.
Oh. Kelly, is this something you feel you have great authority on?
Not really, no.
Well, we are looking for winners of more than one FA Cup. And it goes back, did you say 1872?
1872.
1872. So there's a lot of years there.
The answer that I've got to go for would be Everton.
Everton.
Yes.
Let's see how many people said that. Well, it is correct. Oh, it's better than Chelsea. Down it goes, 35. Well done, only 35 people said Everton. Richard, Everton.
Yeah, Everton also won it 5 times, most recently in 1995, which is the last time they won anything at all.
Great shame. Thanks very much. OK, Fortuna.
I haven't got any idea whatsoever.
Oh, really? I thought that
so I'm just
smile
gonna have
was
to
sort
guess.
of confidence radiating from you. You're going to guess.
I'm just going to guess because my granddad supported them and it was the first thing that popped into my head. So I'm going to say Tottenham.
Tottenham. Very good. Sat seems to think Tottenham's a good call. We are looking for winners of more than one FA Cup. The more obscure, the better. Tottenham, is it indeed a correct answer? It is. Well, it beats Chelsea. 47. Not bad, not bad. You're some way halfway between our 2 scores so far. Spurs, Richard?
Yeah, Tottenham, one of the most successful clubs in FA Cup history. They won it 8 times.
Malcolm R. We are looking, just to remind you, for winners of more than one FA Cup.
Right. Well, I'm going to take a flyer
Yes.
and go for one of the teams in the early part of the century.
Very good.
But I've got a horrible feeling it may not be right, but Preston North End.
Preston North End. Let's see if it's a correct answer, and if so, how many people said that? It's good. Malcolm R. Look at that. Touch of the Susan Boyles going on over there on the far podium. Malcolm, that's fantastic. 16 with Preston North End. A very, very fine answer. Richard?
Yeah, actually only won it twice. They won it in 1899 and again in 1938. First time they ever won it, they're the first team ever to win the double as well. They won the league in the same season.
Very good. I love that you didn't even need to read that off a sheet of paper.
What sheet? I don't have a
Scarily.
sheet of paper.
Oh, it's just terrifying. Terrifying knowledge the man carries around with him. OK, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at the scores. OK, well, Malcolm R and Malcolm S looking pretty untouchable there. A lovely low score of 16. Keep that up and you'll be skipping through, perhaps streaking through to the next round. Actually, no, don't. Just skipping, I think, is fine. Ranging up to Karen and Lawrence, looking a little bit exposed there, out ahead on 68. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, Malcolm S. We are looking for winners of more than one FA Cup. We want a really obscure answer from you. What have you got?
Manchester City.
Manchester City. Moving up into teams I've heard of, which is good. You want to be scoring as low as possible. There's the red line. Come below that red line and you are definitely through to the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Manchester City. It's correct. And it's good enough. Look at that. Very good. That scores you 27, taking your score up to 43.
Yes, yes.
You are definitely through to the next round. Contain yourselves. Richard, Manchester City.
Yeah, Man City have won it 4 times, though haven't won it for 40 years. 40
You
years
did a
since
bit
they
of
last won
relish
it.
there. I could not.
Oh, no, I
I
just
see a
think it's
little
40 years.
curl in
That's a long time.
It
for
is a long time.
team that big not to win something.
40 years. Well, on to Sat.
Hi.
Sat. Now, you were, I can see you willing on Fortuna there with Spurs. Is this an area you feel you have some expertise in?
Yeah, I do. The answer I'm going to go for is Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah.
The reason is because I know that they beat Manchester United in a cup final in the year of the Munich air crash.
Right.
But I do not know if they've won it twice, but I'm going to take a risk on
You're
it.
going to take a risk. Somewhere since 1872, surely Bolton Wanderers might have tucked in another victory.
I'm hoping so.
OK, well, you have to score 20 or less to get through to the next round. There's your red line. Look at that. It's quite a low red line. You're going to say Bolton Wanderers. Oh, it's correct. Is it good enough? It is. Down it goes. Very good. Well done. That scores you only 8, taking your total up to 55. Well done, Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah, again, they won it 4 times, actually. They won it 3 times in the 1920s, then, as you say, in 1958.
Kate, now it was you who groaned when this subject came up. Do you really not know anything about this?
No, not a great deal. I do come from a rugby family, so that's probably what I'd prefer. I honestly can't think of any obscure ones. I'm going to just have to go with Leeds United.
Leeds United. If that gets you below that red line, you are through to the next round. Oh, no! Bad luck.
Should have gone with the other one.
Such bad luck, Kate. Bad luck for you, bad luck for Leeds. Great news for Lawrence and Karen. Unfortunately, Leeds United is the wrong answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. That's so unfair. Richard?
Yeah, unbelievably, Leeds only won one FA Cup. They won in 1972. Haven't won it before or since. I don't want to rub it in, but just the one. Tough luck.
Very tough indeed. Bad luck. Well, there's a lifeline. Lawrence?
It is.
You need to score 66 or less.
Well, they won it for the second time a couple of years ago. Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. You have to score 66 or less. We're looking for winners of more than one FA Cup. There's the red line. You're saying Pompey. Let's see how many people said Portsmouth. It's correct. And it's good enough. It's very good. 6. Only 6 people got that. That takes your score up to 74. Very impressive. Portsmouth, Richard.
Yeah, as you say, they won it a couple of years ago, which added to their win in 1939, which meant they held it for the entire Second World War. They were the holders of the FA Cup.
Fabulous. That's been good enough to get you through to the next round. That's the end of round 1, and the losing pair, I'm afraid, with the highest score is Kate and Kelly. Bad luck. Oh. Who's to blame, do you think?
Me.
You're going to take the blame fair and square, are you, for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Richard, what else should they have said?
I'd say there's 23 teams who've done this, but only 2 pointless answers. The pointless answers are the answers that none of our 100 people gave. The first one was Bury, who won it in 1900 and 1903. They won 6-0, the biggest ever win. And Old Etonians, they won in 1879, and they also won in 1882. The worst answers you could have given. These were the answers that most of our 100 people said. Arsenal would have been the third worst answer. Second was Liverpool. And the answer that most people gave, anybody? Manchester United, who would have scored you a princely 90 points.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, Kate and Kelly, I'm afraid you just didn't have that pointless football knowledge you needed to make it through to the next round. But remember, everyone gets 2 chances at our pointless final, so we will see you again next time. But meanwhile, thanks very much. You've been fantastic contestants. Thank you.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, obviously, only 2 pairs make it through to the head-to-head, so one team is going to be disappointed. You just have to make sure it's not you. All right, the category for the second round this afternoon is TV soaps. OK, can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And will the first player please step up to the podium? Right, let's find out what the question is going to be. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many families in EastEnders as they could. Families in EastEnders. Richard.
Okay, the correct answers here are the names of families who've lived in Albert Square since 1985. By family, we mean 2 or more people who share the same surname and are of the same family.
OK. I hope that's clear. As it's a new series, we've changed things a little bit. In round 2, we're going to give you a choice of 7 possible answers in each pass. Now, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, but do be careful, because there's also at least one incorrect answer in amongst the 7. Pick one of those and you'll score the maximum of 100 points, so don't do that. The first set of 7 answers are the Fowlers, the McQueens, the Trumans, the DeMarcos, the Kapoors, the Mitchells, and the Jacksons. So, Karen.
Well, I recognise 2 of them, which is a good start. I think I'll go for the Jacksons.
The Jacksons. Is that one of the 2 you recognise, or is it one you're punting on?
No, I think it's Bianca Jackson. Is that right?
You're going to go with the Jacksons. So we are looking for families in EastEnders. You're saying the Jacksons. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Jacksons, and if it's correct. It is correct.
Phew.
Oh, it's good. Look at that. Down it goes. 15. Well done, Karen. Spectacular. That scores you 15 points. The Jacksons, Richard.
Yeah, they first came to the square in 1993, and as you say, probably the most famous ones, Bianca and Carol. And of course, there was Michael, Jermaine, Randy, and Tito. That's,
Yes.
pretty much made them up. Janet, of course.
OK, sorry, a lot of Jacksons. Anyway, you're quite right, 15. Very nice low score. Right, Fortuna.
I'm going to say the DeMarcos, because I remember that there was a character called Beppe DeMarco, and he ran an Italian restaurant. So.
OK, and you're hoping
Yeah.
there was at least one other DeMarco.
Yeah.
So he qualified as an EastEnders family. You're going DeMarcos. We're looking for families in EastEnders. Let's see how many people said that. It's correct. Down it goes. It's good. Oh, it's good. It's very good. Look at that. Spectacular. Fortuna, that's wonderful. That is ace, Fortuna. That's a pointless answer, and it adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £2,250. Very good. Well, that means your score is 0. DeMarcos, Richard.
Yeah, as you say, the DeMarcos, they came to the square in 1998. The most famous one was Beppe, played by Michael Greco, who's now a professional poker player.
I played poker with him.
Have you?
Yeah.
You win?
No.
You want to play with his brother? You want to play with his brother Gianni? It's Beppe and Gianni, and their mum Rosa and Nikki. They were the DeMarcos. Well done. If you got that at home, it's pointless.
On to Malcolm S. Now remember, there could be more than one pointless answer in there, and of course there's still some incorrect answers in there, at least one anyhow. We're looking for families in EastEnders.
I vaguely remember a family called the Kapoors, so I'm going to go for Kapoor.
Very good. Let's see how many people said Kapoor. Oh, it's right. Oh, it's good. Look at that. That's fantastic. Well done. 2 pointless answers in 2 questions. That's brilliant. That's another pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £2,500. Richard, the Kapoors.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. The Kapoors were roughly the same time as the Jacksons, actually. It was Sanjay and Geeta and their daughter Shamila. The worst answer you could have given of all was the Mitchells, then the Fowlers. As always, there's at least one wrong answer. On this occasion, it wasn't the Trumans. The Trumans, Patrick and Clan, would have scored you 4 points, would have been a very good answer. And if you'd said the McQueens, you'd got 100 because they are from Hollyoaks, not from EastEnders. That was the wrong answer there.
Very good. Well, thank you, Richard. Well, we are halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores. Wow. Well, look at that. Fantastic low scores. Karen and Lawrence, 15. Normally, I'd say that was a brilliant low score, but you happen, just by dint of 2 pointless answers, to be the high scorers there. Saturn, Fortuna, Malcolm R and Malcolm S, both on nothing. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? So, we're going to put 7 more answers up on the board. We are looking for families in EastEnders, and here are your 7 options. The Raymonds, the Watts, the Beals, the Earnshaws, the Butchers, the Bennetts, the Evanses. Malcolm R, mouth open in disbelief. You're going to take a punt? I mean, does anything suggest itself? Anything leap out?
Well, I have heard of, I think, the Butchers. And if I've heard it, I'm sure everybody else has, so it's going to be a big score. But I'm going to go for the Butchers.
All right, thank you very much. Malcolm R, you're going to go for the Butchers. We are looking for families in EastEnders. You scored nothing on the first pass. To avoid becoming the high scorers, you have to get below that red line down there. You have to score 14 or less. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Butchers. Not bad. That gives you a total of 35. Not a bad total at all. Richard, the Butchers.
Yeah, the Butchers, one of the grand families of Albert Square. Frank, Butcher, Pat, Pet, Ricky, Janine, a whole lot of them, and very popular. So that's the most popular answer we've had so far.
OK, now remember, there is at least one pointless answer in there, and there's at least one incorrect answer. So, Sat, see if you can get a double pointless.
I don't think it's going to be pointless, but I know they're a family in EastEnders. The Evans, Barry and Roy, I believe.
Very good, very good. The Evans. That's the red line. If you get below that red line, you are definitely through to the next round. Well, it's correct. Down it goes, down it goes. It's good enough. Oh, it's very good. Look at that, 3. Sat and Fortuna, fabulous. A total of 3. Very good indeed. The Evanses, Richard?
The Evanses and the Butchers, very much the Montagues and Capulets of Albert Square. Of course, Pat and Janine, who were both butchers, both became Evans. That's a soap for you, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lawrence. Lawrence. What's your hobby, Lawrence?
I like to play golf and sing.
At the same time?
If it's a bad shot, yeah.
You sing?
Yeah, in a band.
What's your band called?
Oh, the Underdogs.
Aim high, Lawrence. Aim high. The Underdogs? Why the Underdogs?
Oh, everyone supports the Underdogs, don't they?
Quite right. I like that. That's the best answer you could possibly have given, apart from the one you're about to give. We are looking for families in EastEnders. What are you going to go for?
I've got to try and get 20 or less, so maybe the Watts might get me less than 20. It could be something like 10, 15. I'm gambling that it is because I'm saying the Watts.
You're going to say the Watts. As it stands, the Malcolms are the high scorers, come below that red line, and they will remain the high scorers. So they are hoping you score high on this to save their bacon. We're looking for families in EastEnders. You're saying the Watts? That's correct. Oh, nervy for the Malcolms. Oh, it goes down below the R and the S. Well done, Lawrence. That's just the answer you needed. That scores you 14, taking your total up to 29. Richard, the Watts.
The Watts were one of the original families in Albert Square, Den and Angie. Dennis Watts was one of the children, and Sharon. And apart from Sharon, they're all dead. All
Dear
of
oh
them.
dear.
How about that? Statistically, that's significant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And let's
Isn't
take
it?
a look at the rest of them. We haven't had any of the wrong answers or any of the pointlesses. As you say, the Beals is the one that really sticks out. That would have got you 64 points. There are actually 2 wrong answers there. The Bennets are in Pride and Prejudice, but they're not in Albert Square. The Earnshaws, well, the Earnshaws are in Wuthering Heights, but they're not in Albert Square either. So if you said the Raymonds, anyone at home who said the Raymonds, that was a pointless answer. Terry and Irene and their kids would have scored you 0 points and would have added £250 to the jackpot.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, are the Malcolms. Malcolm R and S. Bad luck. I'm sorry, Malcolm. I was hoping we might get a bit more dancing from you. It's getting a bit of a carnival atmosphere in here. That's life. But
He's got to be back in his care home by 8 o'clock anyway.
Yeah, Matron wants to be home early because
Matron
it's a
wants
bit
him
cold
back.
out tonight.
well, everyone gets 2 cracks at coming through to the pointless final, so we will see you again next time. But meanwhile, thanks very much and goodbye. You've been great contestants.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Well done, you've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at, in case you'd forgotten, £2,500. You're going head-to-head on up to 5 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer. You are now allowed to confer, OK? All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair to win that question. And the first pair to win 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here's your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Unchained Melody artists as they could. Richard, what?
Yes, we are looking for any act who have had a top 40 single with the song Unchained Melody. 7 acts have had UK top 40 singles with Unchained Melody, and you need to find the most obscure on that list.
OK, Saturn Fortuna, because you've played the best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. Is Unchained Melody one of your specialist subjects?
Not at all.
Oh, that's a shame.
We used to do a radio show together and we didn't play Unchained Melody once.
Not once. OK, what are you going to go for?
Okay. We're kind of worried that lots of people are going to say it, but we were going to say Robson and Jerome.
Robson and Jerome. OK, Karen and Lawrence.
We thought of Gareth Gates originally. Well, this is obviously not our answer, this is talking. I think if you're going to go with the Righteous Brothers.
The Righteous Brothers is
I
what
did it
we're going to think
originally.
of because, yeah, we're going to go for the Righteous
You're going
Brothers.
to go for the Righteous Brothers. This is going to be interesting. We've got Sat and Fortuna saying Robson and Jerome, and we've got Karen and Lawrence saying the Righteous Brothers. OK, let's go with Sat and Fortuna first. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Robson and Jerome. Well, it's correct. It's the main thing. 49. Just below the halfway point. OK, and now Karen and Lawrence in blue. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Righteous Brothers. Oh, better than Robson and Jerome. Oh, bad luck, Saturn Fortuna. Well, that's 1-0 to Karen and Lawrence. So the Righteous Brothers...
The Righteous Brothers released it 10 years after it first came out. It was released 4 times in very quick succession in 1955. Let's take a look at some of the stellar names who released it. Liberace would have been a pointless answer. He got to number 20 in 1955. Les Baxter.
Yay.
His version got to number 10 also in 1955 and much the same time. Al Hibbler.
Yes.
Remember Al?
Who could forget Al
He actually
Hibbler?
sung Unchained Melody. It's from a film called Unchained, and he sang the theme tune to that film. So his was sort of the original. He got to number 2. Jimmy Young, the DJ, he got to number 1. All of those were within a month of each other in 1955. Gareth Gates released a version which unbelievably isn't pointless. And then, as you see, Righteous Brothers and Robson and Jerome up the top.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, well, it's 1-0 to Karen and Lawrence. Here is your second question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many boroughs of New York City as they could.
Simply looking for the names of any of the 5 boroughs of New York City. We're looking for the borough name, not the name of the county they're in, just the name of the borough in New York City. There's 5 of them. Which is the most obscure?
Karen and Lawrence, this time it's your turn to go first.
Your turn.
Yeah, it's in New York loads of times.
Go on then, go for it, show off.
Okay.
I just heard, go on, you show off. I'm looking for a really
He's
obscure...
been to New York quite a lot of
I've been
times.
to New York 5 times. I've been to every borough.
Well, the Underdogs, of course. You
we
played the
toured
Met, I
briefly.
think, didn't you? Yeah. Fabulous.
I'm going to go for Staten Island.
Staten Island. Saturn Fortuna.
Let's go for Queens, because I'm not
Okay.
sure if the borough
I just randomly thought of Queens.
As you do.
I don't even know if it's a borough.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not confident
Queens.
about mine.
You're going with Queens.
Okay.
Very good. We are looking for boroughs of New York. Let's go with Karen and Lawrence in blue first with Staten Island. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Staten Island. It is correct. Wow, 29. OK, and now we have Queens from Saturn Fortuna. How many of them said Queens? That's good. Oh! 61. Oh, it's getting very exciting now. It's 2-0 to Karen and Lawrence. You're just 1 more point away from getting through to the final. Richard?
Yes, Staten Island is the least populated of any of the 5 boroughs. Also, the best answer you possibly could have given. Everyone at home is shouting out all 5. Let's take a look at them now and how they scored. So as we see, Staten Island, best answer you could have given. Then Brooklyn, Queens, which Saturn Fortuna gave us. Bronx second, and perhaps unsurprisingly, Manhattan, the worst answer of all, would have scored you 83.
OK, well, thanks, Richard. As I say, it's 2-0 to Karen and Lawrence. You're just 1 point away from the final. Come on, Saturn Fortuna. Come on, time to pull it out of the bag. Here is your third question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Tate galleries as they could. Richard?
Yep, there are only 4 Tate galleries in the UK. See if you can name them all at home while they're thinking. Which is the most obscure of them?
Right, to stay in the game, Saturn Fortuna, you have to win this point.
The one that keeps popping up for me is Tate Britain, so I think I might just go for that.
Yeah, that was really good. I know the Tate Modern, obviously, is the main one. Do we... I think...
We've got to go something else.
I think there's Tate... what did I say?
Tate Contemporary.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Let's go with a guess. Yeah.
So you're going to go with Tate
Contemporary.
OK, Sat and Fortuna, you have gone with Tate Britain. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Tate Britain. Wow. 9! And Karen and Lawrence have gone with Tate Contemporary. Let's see if that is a correct answer, and if it is, how many of our 100 people said it? Oh, bad luck. That is an incorrect answer. So the score now is 2-1. Richard, the Tates.
Yeah, well, Tate Britain, surprisingly, was the best answer you could have given. If we take a look at the 4 galleries here, Tate Britain, and there you see with 9 points. Then Tate St Ives, which is in St Ives.
In Cornwall.
Would have got you 13. Tate Liverpool, which is in...
I'm guessing...
Liverpool.
Oh, really?
Would have got you 16, and then way out ahead, the Tate Modern. So 2-1.
Oh, very exciting. Everything to play for. Come on, Saturn Fortuna. Make it level pegging, so it all goes all the way down to the wire. Here is your 4th question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Sean Connery Bond films as they could. Richard, Sean Connery Bond films.
Yeah, Sean Connery made 6 official James Bond films. We won't include Never Say Never Again. He made 6 official James Bond films, which is the most obscure.
OK, Karen and Lawrence, your turn to go first this time.
Okay, we're going to go for Thunderball.
You're going to go with Thunderball. It sounded like you knew quite a number of these Connery Bond films. Fortunate question for you, isn't it? You're going to go with Thunderball. If you win this point, obviously you are through to the final and you have a chance of winning our jackpot of £2,500. Saturn Fortuna.
I think Dr. No was the first one. But I'm not sure if it was a Sean Connery one, but I think You Only Live Twice is probably what we're going to go for.
Yeah, because I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
OK, You Only Live Twice is Saturn Fortuna's nominated answer. OK, well, let's go in the order they were given. Karen and Lawrence in blue have said Thunderball. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Thunderball. Oh, it's good. 24. 24. Saturn Fortuna, you have to come lower than 24 if you're going to stay in the game. Otherwise, Karen and Lawrence are through to the jackpot final. You've said You Only Live Twice. Saturn Fortuna in gold. Let's see how many of our 100 people said You Only Live Twice, and indeed if it is a correct answer. It is correct. Ooh, it's close. Oh, wow, look at that. Fantastic, 17. So we are absolutely even Stevens. That is 2-2. That's what I like to see, down to the wire. Richard,
Yeah,
Connery
that's-
Bond films.
Yeah, that's the way to play it. You Only Live Twice actually is the best answer you possibly could have given.
Every
Let's take
time.
a look at all 6 of Connery's films, see how you fared at home. As we say, You Only Live Twice, the best answer you could have given. Diamonds Are Forever, surprisingly low on 19. Thunderball, 24. From Russia With Love with 27. Dr. No, which was the first movie that he did, the first Bond movie. And Goldfinger was the worst answer of all with 57. So 2-2, all down to this.
OK, thank you very much, Richard. Well, it's very exciting. We've come to the 5th question. This is the decider. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many European allied nations of World War II as they could. Oh, Lawrence is puffing his cheeks out. Karen's smiling bravely. Sat's got his mouth open. Fortuna looks quietly confident. OK, Richard. Allied nations, European allied nations of World War II.
We're looking for any of the 11 European nations that fought alongside Britain or her empire in World War II and signed the declaration by United Nations during the war. We're looking for any of those 11 countries.
OK. It is Saturn Fortuna's turn to answer first. What are you going to give us?
We're not completely sure, but I was going to say Belgium.
Belgium. OK. Karen and Lawrence.
Again, I'm not 100% sure either. We're going for obscure, so we thought Malta.
Malta. Ooh, this is exciting. We have Saturn Fortuna with Belgium. Karen and Lawrence saying Malta. Whoever wins this point is through to the final and has a chance of winning our jackpot of £2,500. OK, Saturn Fortuna, you answered first, so we'll put you to the test first. Belgium. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Belgium. It's correct. Oh, it's a good answer. 36. Karen and Lawrence, you've gone obscure, which you have to do in this. Always run the risk of it being incorrect. You've said Malta. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Malta, and indeed if it is a correct answer. This, if you win, will get you through to the final, and you'll have a chance of winning our jackpot, £2,500. Oh, yeah. So, after the fifth question, Sat and Fortuna are through to the final as score 3-2. Richard.
Yeah, that's really tough luck. Malta, of course, is part of the British Empire in the first place, so wasn't officially an ally as such. So Belgium wins it. Let's take a look at all 11 of those nations that were allies of us during the war. Right at the bottom of the list, Luxembourg, plucky Luxembourg helped us out. Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, Greece all would have been very, very good answers, would have scored you very, very low points. Well done if you got any of those. Let's take a look at some more. Denmark with 8, Norway 12. It's like the Eurovision Song Contest, isn't it? USSR, Netherlands, Poland, Belgium, of course. It's a high-scoring answer, but fortunately it was a right one. And right at the top, our old friends, the French.
Karen and Lawrence, you came so close to making it all the way. I'm afraid this is your second life, so I'm afraid we say goodbye to you. But thanks so much for playing. You've been fantastic contestants. But for Sat and Fortuna, it's time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Sat and Fortuna. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy. That's what it's all about. And now you've got a chance to win our pointless jackpot. At the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at an impressive £2,500. Now, the rules are very simple. To win the money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer that no one could think of. We've had 2 pointless answers on the show today, and you've given one of those, so let's hope you can find another one now. But first, you've got to choose a category, and here are your 3 options. You can go for the round table, the Oscars, or time zones.
I don't really know what the round table is.
No, I think it's something to do with Knights of the Round Table, but I don't know it in enough detail.
I would
time
like,
zone.
yeah. Well, what do you think of time zones?
I've got no idea about time zones.
I would have thought it's just literally like time zones on the map, like which country's in
Yeah.
what time zone.
Yeah, but do you know much about that?
I can sort of visualise a map. The Oscars, I might know sort of recent stuff, but I don't know sort of.
Yeah.
The Oscars goes back a long time, doesn't it? So.
Yeah,
reckon?
exactly.
My preference is time zones, just because you can, if you don't know it, you might be able to figure it out.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
That's a good one, yeah.
You're going to go with time zones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. I like the way you arrived at time zones. OK, let's find out what the question is going to be. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries using Greenwich Mean Time as they could. OK, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 18 countries in the world that use Greenwich Mean Time as their standard time for at least part of the year. By countries, as always, we mean sovereign states that are members of the UN.
You have 1 minute to come up with your 3 answers for countries that share the Greenwich Mean Time. And all you need to win that £2,500 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. OK, your 60 seconds start now.
I'm thinking of Ghana.
I'm thinking like
African
West
countries.
Africa, yeah.
Ghana.
Right. Ghana. I'm trying to think of sort of smaller countries around there. I know Ivory Coast is around there.
Yeah.
Not
Nigeria.
Nigeria, but Nigeria's around there.
Niger. Mali? No, is that East Africa?
No, Mali.
I'm trying to imagine the map. Morocco.
Yeah, possibly Algeria.
30 seconds.
Okay, do we declare them now or what?
No, you can keep going.
Okay. I can't think of anything.
I think the smallest countries.
Tiny country.
Burkina Faso, possibly.
Yeah,
go for
yeah.
That because I
Okay.
think that's. Where's Sierra Leone?
Sierra Leone. Is that further south? It's not in West Africa, is it?
Isn't it?
10
I
seconds.
don't think so.
Okay, can we?
Can,
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
Sierra Leone. Sorry, Sierra Leone.
so Ghana, Sierra Leone, Burkina Faso.
There's your time. OK, what are your 3 answers?
Okay.
I'm thinking perhaps Ghana, because
Ghana.
my grandma's from Ghana, and we also call our aunties in Ghana, and I think they have the same time. So maybe, yeah.
So that's based on life experience.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
And we're thinking of small countries in West Africa.
Yeah.
So we're thinking, I don't know if these countries are in West Africa, so no offence to anyone watching if they're from those countries. Burkina Faso.
Very few smaller.
Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Sierra Leone. Okay, of those three answers,
yeah.
which are you most confident in?
Should we say Burkina Faso? Because Ghana's quite a popular country.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso. So we'll put that one third.
Then probably Ghana.
Then Ghana.
And then I think with Sierra Leone,
Sierra Leone's a bit
we're
of a punt.
doubtful about that now.
Okay, well, let's put those up on the board in
bet
that
it was the
order.
one.
Sierra Leone first, Ghana, and then Burkina Faso. We will start off with your first answer. This is your first of 3 chances to win our jackpot, and it has to be a pointless answer, i.e. has to be correct, and none of our 100 people should have said it. Okay, we are looking for countries that share Greenwich Mean Time. Your first answer, the one you had the least confidence in, is Sierra Leone. You only need one of these answers to be pointless to win that £2,500. What do you think about Sierra Leone? That was...
I think it's sort of... we were thinking of countries in West Africa, and I think Sierra Leone is closer to sort of South Africa now that we've said it. But
We're not even sure if it's the right
we're not
answer.
sure if it's the right answer now, but what can we do?
What can you do? Well, you had to
See what
land on one of them.
happens.
Let's try the first one, Sierra Leone. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sierra Leone, and if it is a correct answer. This has to be pointless. It's a correct answer. This for £2,500. Very well done. Congratulations. Brilliant. Well, congratulations. You managed to find that all-important pointless answer, which means you go home with a jackpot of £2,500. Now, your first answer. Well done, well done. You weren't even sure of that. You thought you'd wasted one of your answers with Sierra Leone,
Yeah, we
didn't you?
did.
Oh, well done, and well done.
Yay!
Believe it.
Well done for not going for the Oscars as well,
Yeah,
which would have
exactly.
been impossible.
Well, we didn't know these. We just figured.
You thought you could work it out?
Yeah.
Thought we could work it
And
out.
you did.
We kind of did. So yeah.
You did fantastically
all right,
well.
yeah.
So, Richard,
Well, they played it perfectly because there are 10 pointless answers here, and every single one of them is in West Africa. Sierra Leone being one of them, Burkina Faso being another one of them would have also won you the money. Ghana would have got you 2 points. So, but you were two pointless answers. Absolutely fantastic. Well done. You could have had Guinea, Liberia, Mali, Mauritania, Togo, Sao Tome and Principe, all down West Africa. They use Greenwich Mean Time.
very good indeed. Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Saturn Fortuna, who go away with today's jackpot of £2,500. Join us next time when we put more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.